Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are, okay, this is difficult because you just see me and Jomi right here. Charles is joining us from his house. So I'm going to do a quick we are. Steve is on vacation.
Yes.
We are Jomi the Explainer Adeniran. You've got questions, he's got answers. We are Old Man Van, he of the Receding Research and Hairline. We are Coke Baby Chuck, 24 karat closer, a.k.a.
shitter.
the Thai dinner hottie. Okay. Joining us is the Midnight Collective, Aleya O'Brien Zenieris, and the chocolate drop himself, Mr. Chocolate, Mr. Midnight, Chocolate Rain, Jonathan Kermah. Okay. We are the Midnight Boys. Now, we should say this. Okay. So everybody is sick and then everybody is out. Steve's on vacation.
Yes.
Okay. Charles has a sexually transmitted disease.
I wouldn't call it
I
that.
have food poisoning. Get the fuck out of here.
Charles, listen, Charles, this is all I know. Charles went on a date.
Okay.
And after he went on this date, all of a sudden he couldn't come into work. Okay.
My best bud and I went to go get some Taiwanese food, and I woke up at 5:30, dropping an atomic bomb in my fucking bathroom.
Wow.
My cat was running away.
Now,
it's
That's not what you want to hear.
it's not what you want to hear. Now, we'll say this.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. Like, the Pepto-Bismol is about to fucking wear off. So please don't.
Follow us on socials: Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. For now, save Jomi's job. Jomi.
Social's going great. Hey, if you're a fan of Rings of Power, Mal and Joe are going nuts over there. So we're gonna have a bunch of videos, a bunch of social clips for y'all. Make sure you follow and stay tuned in. They're gonna go crazy. Lock in.
That's interesting because the only fans of Rings of Power are Mal and Joe.
Well, I'd argue there's like dozens, maybe 30 of them.
I would say
You
Joe.
haven't even watched Rings of Power, Van. So don't be unfair.
I'm not being unfair. I'm only judging. You're right. That's very true. I'm only judging it by what I'm getting back. And what I'm seeing is there being a lot of conversation and negative conversation about Rings of Power. I also saw Joe fighting the good fight on behalf of Rings of Power. She was asking people, why do they care how much Rings of Power costs? She was fighting on behalf of it. So that tells me that things aren't going well. So,
Bro, I mean, things aren't going. Here's the thing. As someone who has watched a couple episodes, yeah, I'm not surprised. Rings of Power, it ain't it.
It's tough. Can't win them all.
let me ask you a question before we get into the show, just real quick. If Rings of Power were to get canceled, if something like that were to happen, how big of a black eye is that for Amazon?
It's not great because, again, you did spend a lot of money. And even though, like, I do agree with Joe that, like, who cares how much, like, $1 billion studio was paying for content? At the end of the day, if you spend a lot of money and you get nothing back from it, you do kind of have to look at it like, hey, man, what's going on? You have to reassess and start asking important questions like, what are we doing here?
It's true.
If it gets canceled, is this the last Game of Thrones play that a streamer or studio tries to do? Because it feels like this is like we're on our last legs of all these streamers trying to be like, this is our version of Game of Thrones. So if Rings of Power doesn't work, do you think they're all going to kind of just abandon trying to chase that dragon? No pun intended.
I think that that's already kind of happened.
I think so too. But speaking of dragons, I think Amazon is developing Fourth Wing for a TV show. It's another book about dragons and like a big fantasy world. So kind of maybe, probably not. But at the same time, they're not stopping.
It's an interesting question. And the reason is because we're seeing some of these streamers pivot towards things that they know people want. Live sports, things of that nature, right? But before, their first thing was to go grab Wheel of Time, Foundation, Lord of the Rings. Everybody wanted to try to get a deep lore, Halo, all of these things. And they have all been basically kind of failing.
Yeah.
They were trying to get people into these worlds so they could expand these worlds. And this was part of the IP rush that we saw a couple of years ago. But to Charles's point, it hasn't been a really successful experiment, like with anyone.
It's tough.
So you might see people pivot back to reality or to live sports, and maybe you'll get less of these shows, but maybe the shows you get will be better. Who knows, you know?
I mean, a lot of the streamers are already trying to do TV shows that already worked, like hospital shows, procedurals, cop shows. So I think they're all realizing, like, maybe people wanted one Game of Thrones, and now they just want their soaps and their police shows and doctor shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we're on YouTube. You can watch every Midnight Boys House of R Talk to Thrones episodes. YouTube.com/@Ringiverse. Like, comment, subscribe. I also forgot to introduce somebody. Arjuna is actually here. He's on the screen as well. Arjuna, the Watcher. Ramgopal, he's sick. Everybody's, me and Jomi, the only niggas keeping it real, bro.
Man.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Different.
Steve somewhere. I don't know what Steve's up to right now.
Steve's not sick. He's on vacation. Relax.
I know. We're sick of him. Programming reminders.
Or he's sick of us.
Either way, on Friday, Button Mash returns to discuss Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm hearing is the best Star Wars video game ever.
Who told you that?
People are saying it.
Not
true.
true. Not
You don't
true.
like it.
I like it. Yeah. You know, it's not perfect.
Also on Friday, House of R gives you their deep dive on Rings of Power, Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah. Rings of Power back.
Rings of Power, back with more power, more rings. This should have been Season 2 of Rings of Power.
2 rings,
more
2
rings,
power?
more power. 2 rings, 2 power, more rings, more power.
Let's go.
Guys, I feel like the fans now. Because I'm not in the studio. Y'all are going off on fucking tangents. I'm telling you, we're on a fucking timer.
Well, because your booty hole is leaking. That's why.
We don't care about what you're going through. Anytime you gotta go take a shit, go take the shit.
You can go
Don't rush
leave.
me, nigga. you go do the
Keep the Pepto-Bismol right by you, bro. Just take the shot.
Don't rush me.
Yeah.
Nobody, hurry up. Nobody told you to pick up that girl from Blind Barber Saturday night, and then nobody told you to do that. Now you gonna come in here and rush me. We having fun. Me and Jomi and Kermah and Aleya, we just ordered breakfast. This is my crew for all of Wednesday. We're gonna spend, me and my friends are here together, and we're gonna spend a whole Wednesday together.
Of the friend circle.
Yeah. You should have been here with us to eat a burrito. Actually, that's the worst thing for you right now.
The worst thing to do right now is eat a burrito.
Send it to his house.
Okay, Charles is seriously not feeling well, so we have to get into it. I have to go. But on today's show, we've had enough. After the latest spat of cancellations, and the Midnight Boys have decided to go back in time and resurrect some of TV's greatest fandom shows that should have gotten a second chance. Jomi, what's the name of this?
Midnight Resurrections.
Resurrections. What's your favorite resurrection?
My favorite resurrection? Well, some would say Jesus Christ.
I knew you were going to say Jesus.
But others might say Agent Coulson and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Charles, what's your favorite resurrection?
Favorite resurrection? Ooh. Got to go with the classic. Superman coming back to life.
Superman coming back is a good one.
It's a good one.
Let me tell you why. I like a Jesus-involved resurrection.
Okay.
But not his resurrection himself. That's actually a cold resurrection. That's dope.
It's fire.
Because you're doing it for yourself. You're calling your own number.
Mm-hmm.
But when Jesus resurrected Lazarus,
Ooh.
bro, think about how people was looking around that time. Jesus, Lazarus, rise.
Bro, wasn't he just dead through that? Oh my
bro. There's another resurrection that's dope too, though, real quick. Franklin Richards resurrecting Galactus. Rise!
Let's go.
To me, my Galactus, boy. I love
Richards. He got that.
Man, Matrix Resurrections doesn't get
that
in
doesn't
there.
Count.
Doesn't get a top 3 spot.
No.
It's not.
No.
You're
no.
Let's get to the show. Okay, spoiler warning for all nerd content to date, MCU, DC, Star Wars, etc. We're getting ready to talk about content. You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming.
All right, Midnight Resurrections. Last episode, we discussed the cancellation of The Acolyte, which follows a trend of fandom shows getting canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. So the Midnight Boys have decided to discuss the television shows that either deserved a second chance or should continue where they left off, a la X-Men 97. We each get 4 picks, and unlike our drafts, we're allowed some overlap here. Who wants to start us off?
Jomi, you want to go?
I'll go first.
Because you got so many different shows.
All right. Well, that was rude.
Yeah, Jomi, this is really your episode.
This is really your episode to cook, Jomi. This is Jomi's grievances.
Jomi's grievances. Well, I'm going to start off with the classic. I can only be me. Young Justice, season 5, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's go. No? Just
Wait,
me?
did he? No,
Okay.
Young Justice doesn't count. Young Justice already got resurrected once.
And we're bringing it back again, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, like.
All right, no. Pick another one. All right, we got to establish some rules. If the show already got resurrected once, you can't resurrect that motherfucker twice.
Come on now. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's like Second Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you get one up. You know what I mean? You can get 2 in Mario. You feel me? Like, kind of feel like it's fine. Right. All right. If we gotta go with another one.
No, pick Young Justice. That's fine. Resurrecting something twice is insane.
It isn't. Well, here's the thing, right?
How long do you want to run?
Well, the thing I was gonna say this. Greg Wiseman, the creator, has said it could go on forever. It could go 12 seasons, whichever. He's always got a story to tell in that universe.
Well, obviously that nigga gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's his show. Like who's gonna say?
Well, some people are like we have like 8 seasons or we have 5 seasons. Like Succession, after season 4, they're like, hey, that's it, we're done. This
I
is
see what you mean.
This is the
Yeah.
only story we have.
Mhm.
He's like, bro, we could just keep cooking on this thing. You know what I mean? And I think it'd be really fun. I think part of why I'm attached to this show is the main 6 characters, like specifically, and this was what I was gonna like. If I had to do a season 5, I would pitch like a season 1.5 in terms of, so there's this big gap of time. There's 5 years in between season 1 and season 2, and the characters grow and they change. We don't see that on screen, right? And while I enjoy the characters getting to grow, you know, Robin becoming Nightwing, the entire thing, I love to see the main 6 characters go through that 5-year journey, you know? And so while, yes, it did get resurrected already, I also kind of feel like, man, there's obviously lots of still in that universe, man. Like, what's the problem? Keep going.
It's good. I mean, look, I've watched a little bit of the show.
Too much pluck.
It's plucky.
It's plucky, yeah.
But I do like the fact that every once in a while you see like the OG Justice League in there,
Yeah.
and sometimes they have to do with it. But it's very plucky.
It's super plucky.
And I don't like Aqualad.
What?
I don't like
What's wrong with Aqualad?
No, it's not
See,
my
my
thing.
homies, when they
Yeah,
put
wait,
me on,
what's
they're
wrong
like,
with Aqualad?
they were like,
Alright.
yo, it's Aqualad, man. He's black. And I was like, all right, bro, you're just going to make like Aquaman sidekick black. Like, I'm not really.
What do you
I don't
have
like
against
Aqua,
our
you know?
young queer black superheroes?
And he's
Dan?
great. Aqualad is awesome.
But you guys know I don't like young superheroes.
Yes.
I don't like kid Superman, young Hawkeye.
Yes.
Fucking-
Superboy?
like,
Who's
at-
kid super?
I don't like it. What's
Wait,
the point? I like the
what's-
dog. Hold on, let me tell you something.
The dog
fucking
over the
dog.
black man?
Crypto?
Wow. Wow.
I like the dog more. I like.
Wow.
How about this? Fucking underline it. I like Crypto the super dog better than I like any of them. That includes any of them. I like
That's fair.
the dog. The dog is fun. He's a
Sure.
fun dog. He's got
Great dog.
superpowers. It's
Yeah.
fun. All right, he was on Titans. I'm gonna go next, and this one is gonna be a little bit controversial.
Okay.
Lovecraft Country.
Okay. No, you talk.
Land this plane, Van.
You speak.
Land this plane.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay,
Please.
so Lovecraft Country was a great Black Panther sci-fi show that came on HBO. It starred Journey Smollett
Yes.
and Jonathan Majors.
Okay.
It was based on Lovecraftian monsters and lore and all of that stuff. H.P. Lovecraft. It's great. It was ambitious. It was well acted. The chemistry between the two leads was fantastic. And it was not renewed. It wasn't renewed for a couple of different reasons.
Okay.
Now, in the wake of everything that Jonathan Majors has gone through, obviously bringing Lovecraft Country back would be slightly controversial. However, there was so much good in the show. I thought the show at times got a little wonky, but it was the first season and it was still finding its narrative, and it was more than enough wonder, awe, and execution there for it to come back. I was very disappointed it didn't come back for a second season. I would love to see a second season of Lovecraft Country, despite everything that Jonathan Majors has been through recently.
Would you? Here's the thing. Would you bring Jonathan Majors back?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't know.
Ugh,
I don't know. It might be tight.
I can't.
I mean, they probably would. Look, here's the thing,
They
guys.
probably wouldn't, though.
They probably
They
wouldn't.
probably wouldn't.
But here's the thing. I am different.
Clearly.
I personally don't see any reason why. At this point, Jonathan Majors should not be able to resume his career and continue acting and continue as a contributor to the arts. I don't see any reason. Like it, particularly if someone takes accountability, if someone understands the gravity of the situations they've been in. And I'm not necessarily saying Jonathan Majors has done that. There would be some people that say maybe he hasn't done that. But I'm saying if that is done, with everything that came out and the way that things ended up, I don't think that Jonathan Majors' career should be given the death penalty. I really don't.
What's your pick, Charles?
Hey, can I ask you a question? How do you guys expect to be good podcasters? If like it's interesting. Like you guys are so
This is
pussy.
me weighing in on
Like,
Jonathan
you can,
Majors
like,
is what's
how do you guys
stopping Jomi and I
expect to
from
be
being good
All right, fucking
podcasters.
fine. All right, we'll punt on it. Charles,
All
go
right,
ahead.
so
Do the next
let's
thing.
bring back,
Everything we trying to
bring
do.
back the most.
Like, y'all are
raw-
so fucking scared. Like, what the fuck?
All right, so I'm bringing back a way less fraught show.
I just don't get it, man.
My first choice, I think it's probably one of my favorite animated superhero shows of all time, Justice League Unlimited. I think, honestly, if you brought it back in the same way they did X-Men 97, just continue where it left off, that's something, it's still on Netflix. It's something that when I just need something on in the background, I turn on. And to me, it is probably one of the few Justice League stories in TV or movies that I feel like they've gotten right. Like, I feel like the problem with the Justice League is they're always too powerful. So it's hard for you to make a story where it's like, who's going to stop them? And I think Justice League Unlimited did a good job of being like, no, the interesting thing is these characters having to interact, where it's like Plastic Man has to interact with Batman and Superman, or Green Lantern has to interact with the Question. And honestly, if they were going to do a Justice League, if the DCEU was going to do a Justice League movie, I would hope that like James Gunn would continue the trend of let's put some lesser known heroes on the Justice League, because trying to get Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, and whoever the seventh one is right on screen can be very difficult. So my first pick would be Justice League Unlimited.
It's interesting. It only had 39 episodes. I don't know why, as a kid, I thought that thing was going on like all the time. But it only had 39. That's a good pick. I honestly thought I had more.
But because, do you remember the Justice League show before Unlimited?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's why we think it was like longer than it was, but
Yeah.
Unlimited is way better than
Definitely.
the original OG series.
Never liked anyone who doesn't like that show. Like everybody, it's the show managed to achieve, which is another reason why it's interesting that there's only 39 episodes, a certain ubiquity during that time.
Yeah.
Like everyone kind of knew it. I think Jon Stewart as the Black Green Lantern was...
You just call him Green Lantern, but...
He's Black Green Lantern.
I mean, just call him Green Lantern.
Nah, he's Black Green Lantern.
He's just the Green Lantern.
He's
not
Green Lantern.
Black
He's not
Green
the Black
Lantern.
Green Lantern. He's just Green Lantern.
Do you call Hal Jordan White Green Lantern?
So this is the important thing.
Okay.
Because you guys think that you have me in the figure 4 leg lock of logic right now. But let me explain something to you.
Okay.
The entire thought there
Mhm.
was that Jon Stewart as a Black Green Lantern was one of the main reasons that people were intrigued by the show. It gave them a new depiction that they hadn't seen before. So in this particular case, the fact that Jon Stewart was the Black Green Lantern made people curious. The Black Green Lantern. It made people curious about the show in a specific way. And to Charles's point, which he said a second ago, it wasn't just the same old heroes that you were used to.
That's right.
It was like a different take on some of the heroes, and people were interested in that. So while you guys are jumping out of your pants, Charles's soiled pants, to be woke, there was a point to what I was saying.
All right, before we move on, what was our feelings on Jon Stewart and Hawk Girl? I don't know if I ever fucked with it.
You didn't think you didn't think that worked for you?
Nah, it was the infighting. Once Hawkman was in the shit, I was like, John, you could do better. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, like on a rewatch during the panty, that was like one of the parts of the show that I was like that you completely miss as a kid. You're not like really thinking about that. You're like, yo, when did the superheroes get to fight the bad guys, whatever. Rewatch, I was like, oh yeah, Jon Stewart had it like that. He was putting on for the let's go. You know what I mean? Shout out. What's up?
He was putting on for what?
He's putting on for the niggas. What?
That's why you like Jon Stewart, Joe.
He's doing his thing.
All
He's doing his thing. I ain't mad at him.
But you never felt that way about Hal Jordan because it's different because he's the Black Green Lantern. Why y'all doing this to me? All right,
yo, Jomi, you're up next.
I'm going with something that like I think I don't even know if anybody under the sound of my breath has watched this show because CW pulled it. Like this last episodes didn't even air. I don't think. Powerless.
Never heard of it.
Exactly.
Oh, Powerless. I heard of Powerless.
Powerless. It was a CW show. It starred
This
Vanessa
black
Hudgens.
guy. The black guy was on the
Ron
show.
Funches. Yes.
Yeah.
Danny Pudi, Alan Tudyk, and it was basically like they were a superhero insurance thing. So like when Gotham gets ruined or Metropolis gets ruined, they come in and do like the cleanup and handle all the business. And it was out of there as soon as it got there. Nobody watched it. Nobody messed with it. And I think like this is like right, like I think like 2017. I'm sure. So like we're like getting into like the superheroes, like Daredevil, all that John, all that nice stuff. And it just completely went over everybody's heads, got canceled immediately. Kind of feel like 2024, like a superhero comedy. We don't really get those. I know we've had She-Hulk more recently, but all superhero stuff is mainly serious and mainly like, we gotta save the world and this and that. I feel like a superhero workplace comedy is hilarious. And with a little fine tooling, I think we could have had something special. So let's bring it back.
Now, was this superhero universe set in a universe that we know?
Yeah, it was DC.
It was DC, okay.
Alan Tudyk was like Bruce Wayne's cousin or something.
So I had this idea for a superhero show that was basically, it was called Apartment 503. And it was basically like a Friends or a Living Single set in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
So like you're on your way to work, but you got held up at work because Thor was fighting, but it's a single camera sitcom. And so like you get held up at work because Thor was fighting some kind of multiversal demon, and it's all of that stuff. It's about the regular lives of people in like this universe. Like two of the characters are in love, but then one of them is dating, I don't know, like Tony Stark or Hawkeye or somebody like that. And he's trying to like, it's like a
is there like regular. One episode where they all go to a funeral because one of their homies died in Sokovia or some shit?
I'm saying, but they're just regular people that live in this world, and it's
New York City.
New York City. It's single camera, but maybe one of them works at Stark Industries. Maybe one of them works at the Baxter Building or something like that. I like stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
It's just like, yo, I got a date with Black Widow on Friday, man. What do I wear? You know what I mean?
Or kind of, or something like that. It's like I thought it would be funny, but every time I would try to soft pitch it, and these people would be like, "That fucking shit out of here." Like we don't want to make that. Get that fucking shit out of here. Like, does one of them get powers? No. They never get powers. We don't fucking know. We don't want to. But I'm like, you get to have cool guest stars. Like Spider-Man would pop in, and different people would pop in, and all kinds of different stuff. It would be cool, but you'd have to grind. No, we don't want to. That's a stupid idea. You're stupid. And so
I don't think they said that.
They that's the kind of things that they say.
No.
But when you get to know the studio people,
wow,
they go, hey, I got notes one time, and the notes was like, hey, this is the main note. This is bad.
What?
Fried
I won't tell you from which studio.
Cooked you.
Like, hey,
tough.
The main note, this is bad. Second note, you have talent though.
Hey, you came out on top.
Why did they lead with the second one?
Dialogue, great. This idea, too much. Okay. I mean, I'm in for stuff like that. I do think that maybe right now things are a little too saturated for it.
Probably. Well, I mean, even in 2017, right? It was like there was even a lot going on then with the Netflix shows and things like that. So like, maybe in 2024 might be cooked. But I think, maybe not taking a superhero property all that seriously could be fun. And I'd like to see it.
All right, another controversial choice for me that you guys are really
not looking forward to
really gonna hate. And maybe they're gonna do it. There's been talk that they're gonna do it. HBO Watchmen season 2.
Oh, I mean, well, not that controversial. I mean,
a lot of people think, oh, it's a perfect story. They told a perfect story. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. There's only one thing that's better than cowbell.
More cowbell.
More cowbell. A ding a ding a ding 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 ding. A ding a ding a ding ding. A ding a ding a ding 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 ding. A ding a ding ding ding. I'm talking fucking Mississippi State. I'm talking about cowbell.
I'm talking about Sacramento up as the Kings.
I'm talking about the Kings. I'm talking about, that's what my whole thing is. I want fucking cowbell. Give me more. I'm actually gonna try to get the Robert's Rebellion movie made.
Jesus Christ.
Like, give me more. Just give me more.
Wait, so you would rather Lindelof do Watchmen season 2 than the Lantern show?
That's a good question. I would probably rather him do the Lantern show.
Okay, but if you had a second one superhero thing lined up, you're saying Watchmen season 2, easy.
So here's the thing. Here's the problem. Is that I don't think Watchmen season 2 would involve Lindelof. I don't think that he would come back to do it. I think he's been pretty clear about that.
Should have Core do it?
Core could do it. Like, I was talking to Core, like, Core could do it. Core wrote one of the best episodes.
Do you think Core would want to do season 2?
Probably not. But but what I'm saying is they created such an awesome world that I just want more out of the world. I thought the show was sublime. I thought it was amazing. I thought giving Regina the chance to be there and be in that world and be Sister Night, I thought it was great. I would love to see a season 2 from Watchmen. I know that a lot of people don't agree, but I would love to see a season 2.
I mean, I think it just ended on a perfect note,
You're not wrong.
Yeah, with Regina like stepping out. Does she have Dr. Manhattan's powers? And it cuts and we're left to wonder. And I think obviously it'd be nice to know the answer to that, but at the end of the day, I think that not knowing that level of uncertainty was a perfect ending to the series. And so I don't mind it, but I mean, it'd be fun to see.
Do you think she had his powers?
No.
Oh, you don't think she did?
She stepped on the water
and just fell through. See, that's a great fucking, to open the season, she steps into the water and she falls straight into the water. But little does she know, she actually does have his powers.
Just takes time.
But it takes a little time for them to manifest, and they manifest throughout an entire season. They fuck with her psychologically. All of this stuff like that would be so fucking awesome, man. Give us the cowbell. Why are we going away from things that we know work?
People are mad.
All right,
people like Charles are haters.
This is probably another controversial pick. We're already doing Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
The only way I would want this series is we just need heroes for hire. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, recast Finn Jones. Don't explain it. Aunt Vivim. Just give us a new white boy. Do not explain it. But I do feel like the one thing that I was always pissed about with like Luke Cage and the Defenders and Iron Fist, I was like, why don't you just do heroes for hire? Just put Luke Cage, Iron Fist in the fucking same show. It works. Make it a buddy comedy. And I think that like they just canceled what was his other show? Evil.
Evil came to an end on Paramount. Yeah,
so we got some time. So I'm like, yo, I think they could do a nice Heroes for Hire series.
Here's the thing. So I thought you were gonna pitch Iron Fist season 2, which is basically what you're doing, or Iron Fist season 3, sorry, which is basically what you're doing. The Finn
Iron
Jones
Fist got 2 seasons.
It got 2 seasons. Here's the thing Here's the thing. Iron Fist season 2 also ass, but like not the worst thing I've ever seen. Right? It's not great, but season 1 is legitimately like some of the worst television I've ever seen in my entire life.
But Luke Cage season 1, pretty good.
The first half is like legitimately like special TV.
It fell off a little bit when they lost Mahershala's character, although from what I understand, that was always the
plan. The creator talked about it on Twitter, like a recent thread. Yeah, it was like that was the plan. Mahershala had like other things going on. It was cooked in. while it did lose momentum, you're right. The first season was pretty good, but that like first couple episodes, Ursula,
the second season of Luke Cage is not bad.
not bad at all. Not bad
Yeah,
at all.
it's just like not as great as the first season was. Luke Cage is a good show.
Do you think though that in the Disney Plus system, kind of just them maybe getting a handle on Daredevil, hopefully, that they could bring back like a Jessica Jones or bring back a Luke Cage?
She's in the show.
I about to say, I'm like, I don't think that's confirmed, but like, there's like room, like they're all like, they post photos together and they're hanging out. And it's like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? I think like there's a chance that they do show up in the show.
I mean, if we're being honest, the Netflix shows on their average have been better than most of the MCU
those shows
Disney
were.
Plus shows.
We can try to act like those shows were fucking insanely successful when they first came out. Like both as Netflix shows and as cultural talk pieces. People were talking about Charlie Gibson as Daredevil. Daredevil was really, really incredibly successful for Netflix. And it just, they never really figured out a way to truly integrate the Daredevil Netflix universe into the MCU. Even though they were like, hey, this is after the incident and all of that stuff. They never really found a real way. But those shows were very successful. They had their very successful little universe going on.
Yeah, and like Daredevil Born Again has like 18 episodes. So I kind of feel like there's no way for Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, or maybe like a recasted Iron Fist to like show up at one point.
They got Wilson Fisk back. Fisky.
Right?
Fisky.
Wait, how are we gonna cover Born Again? We cannot do 18 weeks straight.
18 weeks straight, baby. Lock in.
18 straight.
Hey, we've been on this podcast asking for Real TV to come back.
Yeah.
22 episode seasons, not taking a year off. We gotta lock in.
18, Charles. That number's gotta mean something to you.
Come on now.
Doesn't mean anything to Josh Giddey, but it's gotta mean something to you.
Right. Jesus Christ. Why would you? Why? Why is my question.
It's a very well-known story from
Jesus Christ.
It's a well-known story. Kerm, you got that joke, did you? Did you not?
No. See, Kerm
didn't get it. Kerm, how was your birthday?
My birthday was pretty good. Thanks for asking.
What'd you do?
We went to a barcade, and then on my actual birthday, I got dinner.
Did you have a donut?
I actually had a donut yesterday, but
you did.
unrelated.
I can tell.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Jomi, is it back to you?
Apologize.
What does that even mean? Wait, yo.
What? What? There's nothing. I was saying I could tell he had. Why are y'all looking at me like that? I'm just saying I could tell he had a.
Why are you fat shaming on this
No,
podcast?
first of all, he's not all Kerm. That nigga Kerm swole. First of all, in the cool.
Yeah, but what are we doing? We're not allowed to eat donuts?
Kerm is in good shape. You'll see Kerm look like a little linebacker, bro. Kerm in good shape, man. I'm not.
Oh my
And I'm just saying he
Don't
looks
call
like he
him
had a
a little
donut. He
linebacker.
looks like I could tell the sugar. It's not, first of all, there's nothing negative about that. You guys are making
tell
that
the
into
sugar
something
what?
negative.
I don't know, man.
Finish that.
Is it negative to look at somebody and say, you look like you had a donut?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Arjuna, hold on. Arjuna, jump in. Is it negative to
Don't
say
bring the
somebody?
manager onto the
It is. Arjuna, is it negative to say?
that is negative, Van.
What's negative about that? I want the audience. No. Fuck this, man. I'm not giving up on this one. I want the audience.
I would.
I want the audience. Is it negative?
Please give up on
Kerm
this.
is in great shape. Is it negative to look at somebody and go, you look like you had a
Let me
donut?
tell you something. Here's Eddie.
What's negative?
So, Van, you got to think
Would
about it.
you-
You got to think about it. Imagine it's Thanksgiving. You around all your family. You haven't seen in a minute, and they come in. They're like, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" Your auntie look at you like, "You look like you had a donut." That's crazy.
Okay, that's a different situation.
What's the difference?
Because
Would you go
Jomi-
to Rachel?
Okay.
Would you go to Rachel and be like, you look like you had a donut?
I definitely would. But because Rachel eats. I don't know if you guys know, but Rachel's a pork addict. See, O'Brien knows this. Like Rachel's a pork addict. Rachel looks like a pork chop eater. She looks like she just had fresh pork.
Jesus Christ.
Every single.
What? Oh,
But hold on. But wait. Hold on real quick. Jomi picked a time when someone always tells you you're fat, which is at family gatherings, which I don't know what's wrong with older black people. I don't know what's wrong with them.
They got to let you know.
Boy, goddamn, you done got some big. Go get in a room. I'm gonna go listen to Nirvana. Like, you know what I'm saying? like go in there with the rest of the old people. I'm gonna go listen to Lithium because I'm depressed now. fuck is wrong with you?
Anyway,
Anyway, are we? Okay, Kermah, I apologize. I was like,
it's done. He apologized.
He apologized. It's done. We gotta move on.
It's
We
over.
gotta move on.
It's over.
It's over.
It's your birthday weekend. I thought maybe you enjoyed the donut. I want the audience to weigh in on the donut gate. But
They're gonna disagree with you.
Joey, what's your third pick?
My third pick, real quick. Powerless was on NBC, not the CW, but
NBC.
It looked like a CW show. So, that's probably why I got canceled.
NBC.
NBC, dog. NBC.
I don't fucking have
The
any.
Peacock.
I was actually wondering if Vanessa Hudgens would do CW show.
She did. It was NBC.
I think I've seen clips from this show though.
Okay.
Like there were clips where I think I saw clips. Anyway, go ahead.
So my third pick, this is a classic, Jomi. We're not even gonna get by it. Agent Carter, man. Bring Agent Carter back, man. I got 2 seasons on ABC. The first season was really good. Really good. Shout out Chad Michael Murray, Shea Wiggum as Agent Dooley. That went hard. You know what I mean? Season 2, it's a little mixed baggy. You know what I mean? Wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. However, I thought it was fun enough and good enough. I mean, Agent Carter been in the MCU for how long now? He's always coming back. What If, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Lock us in. Agent Carter season 3, man. Who's down? I'm down.
You couldn't pay me to watch Agent Carter.
I never saw it.
Nobody watched it. It's fine. That was one of those shows, man. Because it would air like during the break between the Agents of Shield, like winter break, and so I would be I'd be in college, like doing winter classes or whatever, working, and just be like, "Yo, it's Tuesday, 9:00, Agent Carter time," and I was the only person on the TL talking about it. Like it was really just me. So I understand that none of you would have tapped in, but it was some good drama, man. The show was really, really interesting.
All right, can I ask this
Go for
controversial question?
it.
Does Marvel Comics have enough good women superheroes, or is the MCU just obsessed with giving shows and movies to like the most boring women superheroes?
I'm gonna need you to explain that.
Agent Carter, Agatha, like these are characters where I'm just like, really? Like this is even Black Widow to a certain extent. I understand she's like an Avenger, but like Black Widow, there's not a lot of people who go into a comic book store and be like, dog, I can't wait to pick up some Black Widow. She-Hulk makes sense. She-Hulk has fans. I guess the other Marvel women superheroes are tied up, like the best ones. Like most of the best ones are X-Men, so they were already tied up.
You just
Fantastic Four.
You just answered your own question. Look how that worked out.
No, I was just but which ones could they have used that weren't like
Would you probably watch a Storm show? You would probably watch.
I can't use Spider-Woman.
You would probably watch a Storm show. You would probably watch a Jean Grey show. There's
outside of the X-Men though.
I mean, outside of the X-Men, I mean, Claremont really cared about developing female superheroes. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess the question would be, is they tried Captain Marvel. Right? Captain Marvel was a big female superhero that they had been making a push for in the comics in the last 15, 20 years. She's been around for a very, very long time. Rogue is a big deal. A lot of those female characters are coming from X-Men lore. Scarlet Witch, all of these people, they're a big deal, but they're kind of tied up. I would say that it's not really necessarily a problem that only the women have. I would say that even the second generation of the male characters, right, are just not as interesting. Like I would say that Shang-Chi is not quite as interesting as Black Panther.
Sure.
I would say that the Eternals are not quite as interesting as the Avengers. Like a lot of this exists in that way. Now, there are also characters that have made a push recently in the comics that you'd have to get right in live action, like Miss Marvel, and they kind of didn't get her right. Although I think the performance,
I think they did got the character right. Maybe the show.
Yeah, the
character,
performance is
the character
fantastic.
was done well. The TV show,
right,
and movie less so.
Right. So I think and something with the Agatha show is that's just Marvel saying, "Hey, we can take somebody that comes from our lore and make a good show about them." Well, but all of the heavy hitters that you're talking about, to be honest with you, they're tied up.
Well, I mean, we got
They're either-
WandaVision,
yeah.
right? And
They're either X-Men or like the other problem with Marvel is like all of the women characters, 9 times out of 10, if they're not on a team, it's like Spider-Woman or She-Hulk. It's like they're connected. So it's like you have to basically introduce the male version first most of the time to be like, all right, how is She-Hulk going to make sense unless Hulk exists? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think the thing, like, I enjoyed a lot about Agent Carter was the espionage stuff, and while it's again like it's not nobody was locked in. Nobody's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch an Agent Carter show. I think for me personally, like bringing it back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., got to get this agenda off. Like having those universes come together, and because we don't get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. any mentions after the Avengers. That's done with. That's over with, right? Or I guess after the Winter Soldier, they don't bring up S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore, right? But having like that tie-in, having those connections, they brought Sousa back. All my Agent Carter fans, y'all know, they brought Sousa back for season 7, Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't want to talk about the relationship with him and Daisy. That's crazy. But, having those universes together, that worked for me. So I'd tap in. I'd watch it again.
All right, Van, what's your third pick?
Fringe.
Ooh.
Deep fucking cut.
I don't think it's that deep.
Fringe.
People love Fringe.
Right now, I think Fringe would go so fucking hard. Now, Fringe was on for a while.
Yes.
I think Fringe ran
It was on Fox.
5 seasons.
It's on Fox.
It might have been 5 seasons. You guys, one of the most significant occurrences to me in the history of television was the 08 or 09 or whatever it was, or was it the 2010? Which writer strike was it? Can't remember. The writer strike that happened around that time. That significantly altered the momentum of so many good shows and good ideas. There was a little movement that was happening right there, and then the writer strike changed everything, took things a little while to get rolling again. Fringe was great talent on the show. Great talent, Joshua Jackson. You know what I mean? The lead's name is she's very Sarah. No, not Sarah Polley.
Anna Torv.
Anna Torv, Canadian actress, great. I just confused my white women. But like a fantastic show, great show, right? Lance Reddick on it. A lot of HBO, rest in peace, Lance Reddick. A lot of HBO names that you'd see that would come and go. You had Spock was on the show.
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy was on the show. He was on the show. He played William. So Massive Dynamic was the company that was behind all of the crazy stuff that was going on in the world. And Joshua Jackson's dad on the show, Joshua Jackson's name was Peter. His dad's name was, I can't remember. Anyway, but he had started this company, and then this guy was hiding out in another dimension. Everything was building up to this massive, huge thing, and the show kind of lost steam because of everything that was going on and stuff. But like even right now, the world is so better primed for Fringe to come back now. Fringe, man. Now,
whoa, but Fringe was coming out at a time when we were not assaulted by fucking so much multiversal shit. Do you feel like if Fringe came back now, people were like, not another multiversal fucking story?
Perhaps. However, I think that Fringe did lowercase multiversal stuff and not capital multiversal stuff.
Explain.
Fringe on a show-to-show basis was a little bit more akin to like the X-Files. Now, everything was happening because of the world that Fringe existed in, but Fringe Division was essentially investigating weird and kooky and quirky things that would happen. It would always tie back to Massive Dynamic, but there were times when the story became directly about what was going on. They were all in another world. There was a different version of the characters and all of that stuff, but it wasn't strictly a multiversal story. I think that Fringe could exist in this world. I really do. Fringe!
Bring back Fringe. I'm not really a
all right, my
Fringe
choice.
guy.
I think I would want this to get the X-Men 97 treatment in terms of just starting where you left off. I was a big fan of Batman Beyond. Like I don't want to resurrect Batman the Animated Series. I think that's like a perfect series. I'm like, leave it alone. Batman Beyond was one where I was just like, I like it. Terry McGinnis, future fucking Batman. They did some weird shit in Justice League Unlimited where they were like, Bruce Wayne, you're Bruce Wayne's son, actually, but the sperm went into your father. His sperm, it was just like some weird ass shit. They should just retcon all of that out. Batman Beyond, make it less weird.
Hearing it like that is nuts.
Whoa, that's what. Wait, did you guys not remember that episode?
I do remember, but no, they weren't like, they didn't say sperm on the episode, man. You know what I mean?
What happened? I never watched this. I never watched this show.
But
My understanding
you remember the
is
Justice League Unlimited episode where they revealed that Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond, essentially, if I'm remembering this correctly, his father had sex with his mother, but had Bruce Wayne's sperm. So technically,
what?
He was Bruce Wayne's
DNA,
child.
Like, I don't know why you keep saying sperm.
You
but
keep
like,
saying sperm.
Can somebody
like,
explain this to me?
Yeah, so
Like-
Amanda Waller essentially put Bruce Wayne's DNA into Terry McGinnis's dad. So Terry McGinnis, his dad, DNA-wise, is Bruce Wayne, essentially.
Yes, which I understood as a child. But when you come in here and say he put a sperm in, I'm like, oh, that's not what they said at all.
What is sperm? But not fucking a cluster of DNA.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Why, you're uncomfortable with
I'm not
sperm.
saying I'm uncomfortable. That's not how they explained it to me in the show. Right?
But
when I'm watching the show.
Essentially, though, in order to get the DNA
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not disagreeing with him.
Terry McGinnis.
That was just nuts thing to say.
The dad to the thing is
literally
the sperm.
nuts to say. But yeah.
How is it nuts? How is sperm nuts?
Sperm is nuts.
Sperm is nuts.
But let me ask you a question, Jomi. What's the deal, Jomi?
There's no deal.
Jomi, seriously, bro. Like it's there's sperm.
Okay. Yes.
And the sperm is the use. Like, what's wrong, Jomi? Why
I'm at
why
work.
are you so uncomfortable?
I'm at work. This is my job.
Did it happen in the show?
It did happen in the show, but it didn't happen. Sperm, you could have used, his DNA like Kerm did. Kerm did it in a way that like makes sense to people. And people who watch it like, yeah, that makes sense. I was a child. I wasn't thinking about sperm.
Jomi, do me a
when
favor.
I was 12.
Jomi, say the word vagina.
Vagina.
How's that feel?
Felt fine. It's a word.
Feels liberating, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so you want that show to come back?
Is Terry
like
McGinnis
Batman
the
Beyond.
old Batman?
Batman Beyond was sick. What's wrong with Batman
Yeah, but
Beyond?
does
I never saw it.
Terry McGinnis become like the old Bruce Wayne, and then there's this new kid, Larry Go Lucky, who
Oh
now
no, we're not
dons the.
fucking doing that. It's just the continuing adventures
Okay.
of Terry McGinnis as the future fucking Batman. Like it's
Isn't
same
Bruce
thing
Wayne
happened
in that show?
1997.
Like
Yes.
an older
No.
Bruce Wayne?
Old.
He's
washed.
like, ugh.
He used the gun one time. He was like, I can't do it no more. I gotta.
Oh, that was
I gotta put it down.
that was the funniest shit where he picked up the blicky once and he's like, I don't deserve to be
I can't
Batman.
do it. I can't do it. It's over.
Mm.
It's over.
I watched Dark Knight Rises this weekend.
Okay.
Good film.
I gotta be honest with you, man.
It's a little long.
It's a little
A
long,
little long.
but the Dark Knight Rises hits, man.
Yeah.
It's a movie that I think when it first came out, people responded comparing it to The Dark Knight, but that movie has aged like wine.
It's a good film. It's a really good film. I think I'd probably put it 2 in the trilogy. When I'm ranking
It's
them.
easily 2 in the trilogy. I mean,
I don't know if
honestly,
it's easily
I
2.
would think
I used to think Batman Begins was 2, and maybe now I'm thinking I have to watch Batman Begins. I used to think Batman Begins was 2, but it's not easily 2. Batman Begins is good. You don't like it?
You don't like Batman Begins.
I think all right. Tom Hardy's Bane to me is way more fascinating and interesting than Cillian Murphy's Scarecrow.
Okay. I mean,
Well, Scarecrow is not the villain of
Mhm.
Batman Begins.
molded by
He's one of the villains.
He's one of the villains, but I wouldn't compare out. You'd have to say between him and Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Raish.
Ra's?
Raish. Is it
Raish?
Raz or
Raish?
Raish?
Huh? Is it
Depends.
Raish?
Is it
Depends on
Raz
who's
or
writing
Raish?
it.
Because in the movie it's Raish, but I've said Ra's al Ghul for my entire life.
Well, in the
Raish.
movie is Raish, but I think in Young Justice it's Ross, and it's like, all right, cool, man. Who cares at this point? You know what I mean?
Still, Bane is more entertaining than Ra's al Ghul, but I will say the beginning of Batman Begins, when that motherfucker goes to the League of Assassins, is some of the fucking great.
That's
Why
cool.
don't we rewatch
So
these
we
fucking
ordered
movies,
food.
bro?
Okay.
And our food is here, and a nigga literally just put our food on the street.
You're lying.
Can we send somebody down to go get the food, please?
Yo.
Look, I'm not fucking bullshit.
It's in the street. You gotta screenshot that. Yeah, you gotta screenshot that.
This nigga just literally put.
I'm reporting that. I'm getting a free meal off
This
that.
nigga
Because
just
what do you
literally put
mean?
our food in the street. Like it's a picture of a bag. The bag is in the middle of the
It's
street.
in the street. That is kind of nuts.
Did you leave him instructions on where to?
I did
put
leave
it?
him instructions.
He said, "Fuck it."
Damn.
Boy, he didn't even get out the car.
I'm getting paid either way.
He just tossed that shit.
Dude, he tossed it in the road. They'll find it. Man. Hey, he's just doing his
All
thing.
right, Jomi, last pick.
My last pick. I'm debating, but you know what? I'm just gonna go with. I don't know if it's a classic Jomi, but this is a show that is honestly one of the better animated shows of the 21st century. And the fact that the story didn't get to finish, honestly, is a tragedy. This is the Greg Weisman curse, I guess. Spectacular Spider-Man.
Mm.
Y'all didn't.
I don't know nothing
Y'all
about
didn't
it.
type in.
I wasn't locked
Spider-Man.
in.
Kerm knows.
I watched
animated shit.
I watched
It is.
Spectacular Spider-Man. People are gonna kill me for this. I was like, it's okay. It's
That
cool.
didn't move you, Spectacular Spider. What? I mean, so did the 90s Spider-Man move you?
All right, so here's the thing. Maybe Van, you'll agree with me. Did you get to a point when it's like when you're in high school where it's like the animated superheroes, I can watch them and be like, this is cool. But there was a level of I was just on different shit. That's not me saying the show was bad.
Yeah.
It was just I already had my Spider-Man show. So I was like, why do I need another one?
It started to become a little bit because I'll watch them when I catch them,
Mm-hmm.
but it was X-Men Evolution, it was Wolverine and X-Men, it was like a bunch of different shows, and I started to have trouble keeping up with everything.
X-Men Evolution is a good one too.
X-Men Evolution was good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Jomi, to your point, a certain generation loves Spectacular Spider-Man. Like they are like,
Yes.
it is injustice of our age that shit got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
the theme spectacular Spider-Man, and y'all know me, man. So we talked about this in the group chat. They asked the 10-year-old to the 10 to 24-year-olds, is there too much sex? Is there too much romance in TV? And they're like, yes. I don't know why you're asking 10-year-olds that, but that was crazy. You're really mad about that, but that's not the point. You put this in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Were they asking? Were they asking?
They were
10-year-olds?
asking Gen Alpha.
Yeah, like
Gen
10
Alpha,
to 24-year-olds, I think. Or
They were
something like
alpha-
that.
I don't think
they
they
were
were asking
I
10-year-olds.
don't think it was 10-year-olds.
About
No,
much-
the age. That's what the thing. Literally, look it up.
It said
It's like 10 to 24.
Anyway, what I'm saying is I think that your generation and right around your generation, you guys are trying to take the sex out of movies. The sex and the nudity. out of movies.
Sex, I don't really feel any two ways about it. I think it's weird that people are saying there's too much sex, which is it's usually for a plot reason, right? They're not just showing gratuitous sex just for all right.
Nah, that's not how we used to do it in the 80s and the 90s.
I think today, it's just
in the 80s and the
Wait,
90s.
so all right, so
a pair of titties would just pop up on the screen for no reason.
Okay.
For no reason.
What is the problem? Here's my issue. What is the problem if I'm watching an R-rated movie and some titties show up?
what's the
what if there's no
I don't
plot
dis-
reason?
I don't
Who fucking
disagree with you.
cares?
You like that?
That's fine.
Yeah, you dig it.
I think
Jomi, I know it's not fine for you
Oh my
because
God.
you, Mr. Sex Negative.
It's fine.
You don't even
It's
want
really
me to say
okay.
sperm on the fucking pod.
the thing that bothers Jesus Christ. There was a better way to say that. The thing that bothers me is the romance stuff. I'm like, that's the kind of stuff I like. Bringing it back to Spectacular Spider-Man. That boy Peter Parker was going through him, dog. Liz Allen, bruh. Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane. That boy was out there in the streets, and I was like, yo, that's my dog right there. That's my Spider-Man. My Spider-Man gotta have all the women, bruh. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I mean, that's what you're going to end up like Charles.
I didn't say me. I said my
saying
Spider-Man.
His Spider-Man is going to end up like Charles.
On the toilet?
Yeah, CBC.
On both ends?
Chlamydia baby Charles.
No. Hey, chill.
Can you fuck off? Can you guys stop? God damn. Shit.
Chill, bro. Him and Gwen Stacy finally figured it out.
What was Spectacular Spider-Man? What was the I was about to say the thrust. What was that one about? What was the different story? Because all these Spider-Mans have a different what was the Spectacular Spider-Man? I never saw it. I've never seen it.
I mean, it told a lot. It told the story of the lizard. It told the black suit Spider-Man. I think that's probably one of the better adaptations of that storyline in comics. Right? The Sandman was a great villain. Like Doc Ock, Sinister Six. Like it took all the stuff you know and love from the Spider-Man comics and brought it to life in a way that felt genuine and felt cared about. J. Jonah Jameson was awesome in the show. Like all the characters you know and expect from Spider-Man lore were there and represented well. So it felt like an authentic, real to life Spider-Man show. And to see after, season 2, it's like, all right, we're getting out of here. 26 episodes. Let's dip. It's kind of disappointing. You want more of that lived in real life Spider-Man world. I think it deserved more. Shout out.
Oh yeah. All right, Van, your last choice.
No, for my last choice, I was thinking about a lot of different things, but there's a show that's coming to an end now, abruptly, have been downsized by DC. And it's a fucking travesty.
Oh, I already know what it is.
It's a fucking travesty that this show, which is one of the best depictions of this character ever, a character that DC cannot get right for whatever reason. I'm not talking about Clark, I'm talking about Superman, that this show would be ending now when it's been so good to me for such a long time. And the name of that show is Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois, to me, is ending with a sort of truncated run, a truncated last season.
They fired half the cast.
They fired half the cast. Because apparently there's not enough room in DC for Superman to exist on television and in the movies when the two worlds have nothing to do with one
It's going to be
another.
confusing. There's two Supermans running around. Who's the real one?
I love Superman and Lois, and I don't understand why the show has to go away. It's a great show. It's a beautiful looking show. It's a show that actually puts Superman in a world where you believe that he's in trouble, that he's in peril. It's a human Superman. I love the show. It's going away, man. I don't like it.
So I have a question for you. You're going to watch, you love Superman. You're going to go watch the movie 8 times when it come out in theaters. Do you think there's any chance that David Cornsweet can match the energy that you're getting from this particular incarnation of Superman? You love this incarnation.
I do. I think it's different.
Okay.
This Superman is a dad. He's much more a father than he is the protector of Earth. And that's kind of what makes the show work.
Yeah.
All right. He's a depowered Superman in a lot of ways, right? He's not an all-powerful Superman. There's always somebody that can challenge him or something that can slow him down. They do a really good job in the villains that they choose, because the villains always throw Superman for a curveball, and some of the depictions of these people are good. Cornsweet will have to be the protector of the Earth and the shining beacon for all of the heroes of that Earth in his role as Superman, which is something that we really haven't seen in Superman and Lois. So it's a completely different set of circumstances for David Cornsweet. I will say something right now, though.
Okay.
I think Cornsweet will nail it as Superman.
Yeah. Well, I think so too.
I think he will nail it as Superman. I think he's one of the guys that you can see has that little thing that makes the role playable for him.
Did you see the video
Did James Gunn make the call, Van?
I think Big
You weren't
James...
talking about Superman like this last week.
Big
No, whoa,
DC?
whoa, hold on for a second. No, hold on for a second. I'm saying the portrayal of the character will be great.
Yes.
The movie looks wonky.
It's a lot of game left. A lot of game left.
And I have to see a trailer. The movie, the set photos and everything we got from the movie looked wonky. Speaking of that, did you guys see Soups hanging out with Halle Berry?
No.
Soups was with Halle Berry.
Wait, Cornsweet hanging out with Holly Berry?
Nah,
No.
not Cornsweet. Soups.
Soups, the social media
Soups
influencer.
from
guy.
Marvel.
No, I'm not bringing him up on this podcast.
You're not talking about Soups? Okay.
Did
cool.
you guys see the video of the Twisters cast reacting to David Cornsweet?
I did see that.
They were so excited
I
for
was
him.
so excited for it. Very nice.
Glenn Powell was
Wait.
jumping like this.
I want to ask you this because you're a country boy, Van. I learned about some shit, but I didn't I read it on Twitter and I'm like, I'm throwing up. I'm not gonna go look this up. Is there such thing as corn sweat? Like where it's like there's so many fields of corn, like in the Midwest, that it's like it can raise the temperature.
Interesting.
Like during summer.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm from Louisiana.
They don't got corn in Louisiana.
There's no
Nah,
corn in Louisiana.
We have.
It's too wet down there.
It was sugar cane. I'm sure there might be some cornfields up there in North Louisiana and stuff like that. I'm sure there's some. I mean, we had a couple of cornfields. Don't get me wrong. There was actually a maze, cornfield maze. I almost had a panic attack in a cornfield maze on Halloween.
You got lost in a maze?
Yeah. So there was a cornfield maze, and you go there and they put different fucking characters from horror movies there, and you go through the maze. It's like a haunted house, right?
Okay.
But I'll tell you something. In nature, it's scarier for some reason when you do the cornfield.
Yes.
It's got to be.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100,
Like when you're out there, when you're out there and it's dark and you're not in the haunted house where there's stuff, you're like actually, because you're thinking, if there was somebody that was really fucking crazy, this is where they would like hang out to kill.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know. So I started having a panic attack.
Of course.
And the dude was coming towards me like he was a Leatherhead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy.
Yes.
I was telling him like, yo, I'm fucked up for real. Like, leave me alone. And he's like, Arr. I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, you don't have to really.
You don't get paid enough for
like
this,
you
bro.
like
Come on.
I'm
You
serious.
give him a warning. Last time that happened, I just started swinging. I'm like, don't come close.
Yeah, like
I'm
my
like,
heart
don't
rate's like 130 right now. Like I'm on the ground. Like leave me alone. I know that you take drama at LSU, but I'm gonna fuck you up for real if you come over here with that fucking broke ass chainsaw that you got. Anyhow, so I guess there are cornfields there, but not enough to raise the temperature or whatever.
So I looked it
All right,
up.
word.
Corn sweat is a thing, according to the Weather Channel. And the Washington Post describes corn sweat is the process by which corn plants release moisture in the air to stay cool, and it brings a surge of humidity to the Midwest.
Wow.
Oh,
That's what it is.
Shout out Corn Sweat, our new Superman, bringing humidity to the Midwest.
He bringing humidity to these ladies.
Making them all wet.
This is a controversial. My last
Disgusting.
pick is
Hold on,
controversial.
Wait a second. Hold on. Did you hear that?
Nobody
What?
heard that.
He said making them all wet.
Nah,
Now you
he
tell
did
me what's more. See this is another thing that I don't like is he's a hypocrite. You tell me what's more inappropriate to talk about. Sperm, which is scientific and a part of the reproductive system. Sperm, it's just a classical name. Or to say making them wet. Like,
Would you say that? Would you go home and say that in front of your mom and sister?
Would you say that to your mom? In front of your mom?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah,
So why don't
exactly,
you
Joe.
leave it in the locker room
Exactly.
there. Leave it in the locker room.
Hey, you gotta relax.
Leave it.
Gotta chill. Gotta chill.
So my last choice, I know that he's canceled for good reason, so I'm not going to get into that. Guys, I don't support the band, but
Oh, yeah?
here's the thing. This show, did you guys ever watch Firefly?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it had a movie. I know they wrapped it up.
Serenity.
Firefly was my shit. I was in college. I was like, I love these Cowboys now.
Space
I have not
Cowboy.
rewatched it. It's probably way more problematic in 2024. Wait, did the burritos just get here?
Get here, brother.
The
Came back
burritos
empty-handed.
are non-existent. I
Wait,
searched
did somebody
every
steal the
road,
burritos?
every alley. There is nothing. There's no trace of a
This
burrito.
nigga said he
even.
left the burrito. Oh, hold on, man.
What did he say?
Stop the
All right,
podcast.
all right, let's wait.
Stop the
My
podcast.
last one was Firefly, but for the audience doesn't know what we're talking about. Before we got on, Van ordered everybody in the room burritos for when they're done recording. And you're telling me that the burritos that he threw on the street have been stolen.
The nigga threw the burritos on the
On
street.
the street.
They threw the nigga threw the burritos on the street. Okay, number one. I gotta be a Karen now. I'm sorry. The nigga threw the burritos on the street. That's number one.
It's number one.
And then number two, somebody probably rode by on a bike and scooped them fucking burritos up. All right, I got help with the order, pass order. I gotta do it. Uber support. I'm sorry.
You're gonna talk to somebody, gonna
My
let the machine do
order
it.
never arrived.
That's
And they going
crazy.
when they refund us money, we going back in.
But all the steak is going to be gone then.
Well, we'll see.
Let's lock in. Let's
They
find
sell
out.
out of steak.
We finna find out.
When they refund our order, we going back in.
Man.
Back in.
Here's the thing about Firefly. I think there's been a lot of gas around Firefly. Like,
A lot of gas, just the right amount of gas.
nah, man. Like that. When you talk about every single, you look it up right now. Shows that got canceled too soon. The lead is Firefly. It's Nathan Fillion. in his freaking vest and his khaki pants, holding a gun, looking over the horizon. That's every image.
Jomi, you want them to bring back Agent Carter.
All right.
So let's not talk about.
Okay, nobody's talking about Agent Carter though. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing notice to a cause. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's really like
you're saying Firefly is a boring choice.
It's the choice. It's the choice.
I liked Firefly when I was in college.
It's a good show.
Relax.
It's a good show.
Sure.
I mean, it was a good show. Firefly was a good show. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, it's a good show.
I'm sure.
It's a good show. But you were wanted to bring back who's going to run the show though.
That's what he said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't.
Not Whedon.
Not old boy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like Firefly. It is they got their movie, but I mean, all of those actors are like.
What's Alan Tudyk doing right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's Nathan
spoiler
Fillion doing?
alert,
Except
he died, didn't he?
He's
In the
doing like
movie.
7 seasons of The Rookie. It's been 8 seasons. How you still the rookie? You know what I mean? At some point, you got to be the vet, right? So, I don't know. Just
All right,
it's a lot
guys.
going on.
That's been our episode. How we feeling?
Wait, hold on. I got a smuggle. I got one smuggle. And because actually, it's not really a smuggle. It is a smuggle because it's 5. Lower Decks. Paramount doesn't want you. Paramount's trying to cancel it. Right? It's got its final season on Paramount coming out. I guess sometime later this year. Go watch it 8 times. We can get season 6. It's not canceled yet. Like they've said, it's a final season. But at Comic-Con, they're like, final season on Paramount. So I think they got something in the works. Hopefully it works out. It does get canceled. Let's bring Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks back for season 6, baby. Lock in. I'm there. I'm
surprised you
1,000
controlled
times.
yourself enough not to pick Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Here's the thing. I thought about it. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got 136 episodes.
Hell yeah. That bitch was on for a long time.
7 seasons. That's nuts, bro. Like, for me to come and be like, let's give season
You always
eight.
act like the show didn't get its due. They rich off that show. That show was on.
It's not that the show didn't get its due. It's that, all right, we're about to get into it. Let me open up some wounds, okay? It's not that the show don't get its due, like, in the circles. I come on here, right? And I'm like, hey, it was a great show. I just need you guys to trust me. And y'all like, actually, go fuck yourself. Go die in a ditch. The show sucked. You sucked. Hate everything about you and the show. That's what y'all do. I just need y'all to support me when I'm like, hey, I like the show. It was good. Just trust me on that. Instead of y'all to be like, Jomi, you know what? We do. We ain't got to watch it. We ain't got to do all that. We just got to support you and love you. Y'all like, actually, hate everything about you. I hate your life. I hate your guts. I hope you die. That's what y'all do.
God damn.
That's how it feels to me. All I need is y'all to support me. That's all I ask. When I'm like, yo, Asian shit was a cool show, just be like, yeah, Jomi. I trust that. I believe you. That's all I ask. That's it. Just support me and love me.
Charles?
Let's wrap this shit up. I got it.
All right, let's go.
Get outta here.
You guys,
We got to get these burritos.
I gotta figure out what's happening with the burritos. If you're out there and you run a burrito company or something like that, just know that we're hungry. And I had myself all ready for a breakfast burrito, and Uber Eats fucked clean over us.
Tough.
All right, it's disgusting, and it's not what America's about.
No.
Okay,
No.
or maybe it is what America's about. Disappointment.
Wow.
That's it. All right, that's it. No more show. That's a wrap. Follow us on socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok for now. Save Jomi's Job Program. Reminders, Friday Button Mash returns. Discuss Star Wars Outlaws. Also on Friday, House of Arc gives you their deep dive into Rings of Power. Season 2, episodes 1 through 3. Saturday, the entire Ringverse crew is back to give you their Ringerverse recommends.
Yeah.
Okay. Our producers are Aleya, O'Brien, Zenieris, Jonathan Kermah, Chocolate Man. Socials is Jomi, the Explainer, Adeniran, Steve, the Architect, Ahlman, not here, but always here in spirit. And Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal, overseeing everything. Charles, take it away.
Steve, we miss you. Chicago is very far. And if you order off Uber Eats, just remember, the Burrito Bandit is at large.
I'm not going to tell the story of the hallowed Vegas trip of 2002, where a certain member of our crew was next to the window whimpering.
Oh my God.
And we had to go to the clinic, and our lives were changed forever.
Oh,
A certain member of our crew was this was kind of the era where we didn't have enough money for everybody to have separate rooms. So it'd be like 7 or 8 dudes in one room. And so everybody sprawled out around the room, whatever. All of a sudden, I hear somebody and they're next to the window. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, what? What's going on? And then we actually had to call back to Baton Rouge and ask somebody's dad what we should do. And then we had to go to the clinic and all of that stuff and had to get it figured out.
How did we get on this? Can we get to the show?
We can get to the show. I'm just saying. Well, I'm saying all that to let you know that there's absolutely zero stigma here.
Of course.
There's zero shame, Charles. There's
zero shame in me having food poisoning.
There's zero shame in what you're going through right now.